I'm Nick Hughes, and this is Founders Live Conversations. You approach running a company, being a leader and a founder, at the same time trying to live a life and stay sane and have a relationship and just like have a life outside of your company.
Yeah.
You know, and you're leading by example. So how do you approach that?
Well, it's not easy. If I didn't, it's something you have to work at just as hard as you work at your company. So if I didn't work at it, I would end up working all the time because I'm so excited about kind of each and every detail of what's happening every day. So I schedule things. I mean, it's different for every person, but for me, I live and die by my calendar. So I just put things on my calendar. I put date night with my husband on my calendar. I put, he travels a lot for work. So some weeks he'll be gone and I'll have an event like 2 nights a week and a cocktail with someone another night. And I'll like pick a night and I'll be like, this is the night where you go home and you spend time by yourself. And, or I schedule tennis or whatever activity. Yeah. Everything just gets scheduled on the calendar, and I'm pretty good at keeping to my calendar.
Yeah.
So that's how I handle it. And I feel like it's so critical to be able to have that founder life balance, because if you don't and you fall into the rut of, well, I can just work, 24 hours or I'll just work and get that done, you stop being critical about the activities you're doing. Mm-hmm. And it's being choosy about how you're spending your time that makes you spend your time on the very most important things, and you don't end up wasting your time on things that aren't that important.
Right. But how do you get over the feeling guilty? There is this like feeling guilty aspect. I've been there and done that and I'm out of it, but like there is this like the things like, Gary Vaynerchuk, he can talk, like, I think he puts out a ton of great content, but when he's putting out working till 1 a.m., what he's doing is influencing a lot of other individuals and founders that they think that they should always be working until like the wee hours of the morning. And so then when they don't do that, they feel guilty, right? So how do you work around or have the discipline of not feeling guilty when you do schedule your own time or you schedule date night with your husband? Like, how do you get through that feeling guilty? Because I think it's natural. It's
definitely natural, and it still crops up for me occasionally. I'd be lying if I said it didn't ever. You have to push it down and fight it away, but I think it just takes experience. Like, even outside of the founder life balance, before I was a founder, when I had my very first job at Microsoft, I worked crazy hours because I was obsessed with putting in as much time as possible to do the best job I could do. And it took being there for 3 or 4 years before I realized, like,